Hi everyone. Today, first we are going to learn what happens to the wax when a candle burns. A candle has two parts. First part, the wax or paraffin wax, and the second one, wick. Wax or paraffin wax that serve as a fuel. It is a hydrocarbon. That means wax is actually made up of compounds of hydrogen and carbon. Solid particles of carbon in the flame become incandescent when the candle burns and giving out light. Then next part, wick. The wick made up of a material that absorbs liquids such as water or molten wax. When a candle is lightened, the wax in and near the wick melt. The wick absorbs the liquid wax and pulls it upward. The heat of the flame vaporizes the wax. It is this wax vapor that burns. That means when a candle burns, hot molten wax rises up in the wick and that vaporizes. The wax vapor burns with a flame. The substances which vaporize during burning give flames. For example, kerosene oil and molten wax rise through the wick and are vaporized during burning and form flames. But in the case of charcoal, the charcoal does not vaporize and burns without a flame, that producing a glow. So, in our textbook, there is a table we need to fill. That is, record your observation and mention whether on burning the material forms a flame or not. First, candle forms flame. Second one, magnesium forms flame. Third one, camphor forms flame. Fourth one, kerosene stove forms flame. But charcoal does not form flame. When there is sufficient supply of oxygen, the substance burns completely, producing a non-luminous or blue flame. You would have seen LPG burn with a blue flame. However, in an insufficient supply of oxygen, a flame of yellow color is obtained. This is because of the glowing of unburned carbon atoms. Next, we are going to discuss structure of a flame. Light a candle and observe its flame. You will find that it has different colors in different region. The flame has three main zones depending on the amount of air it receives. First, non-luminous zone or the zone of complete combustion. It is the hottest part of the candle flame. Because of adequate supply of oxygen, complete combustion occurs. Therefore, no residue is left on an object placed in this zone. The flame appears blue. It is the outermost zone of the flame. Next one, luminous zone or the zone of incomplete combustion is moderately hot. The wax vapors do not burn completely as the supply of oxygen is inadequate. It leaves a blackish ring and other residues on an object placed here. The carbon particles glow emitting a yellow light. It is the middle zone of the flame. Next, dark zone or the zone of no combustion. It is the least hot part. It covers the area surrounding the wick containing unburned vapors produced by the melting of wax. Here, the wax vapors do not come in contact with oxygen, hence, do not burn. It is the innermost zone of the flame. This is the structure of a flame. Hope you understood. Next, we are going to do some activities for finding the features of the different zones of a candle flame. Let us look the first activity. Light a candle. Then take a thin long copper wire. Hold it with a pair of tongs and introduce its tip just inside the outermost region of the flame. Notice that the wire tip becomes red hot and glows, which means the copper wire takes the least time to become red hot when introduced into the outermost, that means the non-luminous zone of the flame, as this zone has the highest temperature. From this activity, we can conclude the non-luminous zone of the flame has a higher temperature. This part of the flame is the hottest part. Hope you understood. Let us move to the next activity. For doing this activity, we need to take a clean glass slide. Hold it with a pair of tongs and introduce it into the luminous zone of the flame. Has a circular black ring formed on the slide? Yes. A circular blackish ring is formed on the glass slide. It indicates the deposition of unburned carbon particles present in the luminous zone, that means middle zone of the flame. Now we are going to do the last activity. For doing this activity, we need to take a narrow glass tube, hold it with a pair of tongs and introduce one of its end in the dark zone of the flame. Now bring a lighted matchstick near the other end of the tube. Do you see a flame at this end? Yes, isn't it? We can see a flame at this end of the glass tube. So, what has produced a flame here? We observe that the innermost zone of the candle near the heated wick consisting of unburned wax vapors. Some of these wax vapor enter to the glass tube and come out from its other end. When we bring a burning matchstick near this end of glass tube, the wax vapors coming out of it starts burning and producing flame. So, From this activity, we can conclude the innermost zone of the candle flame consisting of unburned wax vapors. So, hope you understood today's class.